Everybody, I'm Heather Hayes. It appears a missing 7-year-old girl was murdered during a crime of opportunity. Athena Strand disappeared early Wednesday evening. The sheriff says her body was found today after evidence pointed to a delivery driver in the area Wednesday who the sheriff says kidnapped and killed her and confessed. Fox 4's Macy Jenkins has the breaking details out of Wise County. Macy.
Hi, Heather. Well, we got that news just after 10 o'clock tonight during a press conference with Sheriff Lane Aiken here in Wise County. He says that the body of 7-year-old Athena Strand was found earlier this afternoon. Now, the information about that suspect is that he is a 31-year-old FedEx driver named Tanner Lynn Horner. He confessed to abducting and killing the girl. Sheriff Aiken says earlier that her body was recovered about 3 hours ago. Take a listen to the press conference.
And continued good work by this investigative team, they were able to determine that the driver abducted Athena. And from the investigative standpoint, digitally as well as good old interviews, we think Athena died within just a very hour or so, the very hour or so after her departure from her home.
Now, just before 5 o'clock this evening, we came across a section of County Road 4599, just south of Highway 114. Now, this is about 7 miles away from the Strand home. We saw several law enforcement agencies, including Wise County Sheriff's Office and Texas DPS. They were combing through a heavily brushed and wooded area, even looking into the ditches on the side of the road. Sheriff Aiken says information from interviews initially led them to that area, but it turns out that information was incorrect as her body was recovered elsewhere. Now, acting FBI agent in charge, Jim Dwyer, says it was digital evidence that led them to that FedEx driver, but he would not give specific details about that evidence. And officials would not comment on whether or not Athena was sexually assaulted, only saying that may come out later in the investigation. Sheriff Aiken says at this time, in his time with both Wise County and the Texas Rangers, Athena's case has personally been one of the most challenging he has ever faced.
You know, it's one of the toughest investigations that I've been involved in because it's a child. And anytime there's a child that dies, it just hits you in your heart.
Now, earlier tonight in Lake Worth, Fort Worth police had set up roadblocks on Somerville Place Road. Aiken says this is where the suspect lives. They would not elaborate on whether or not any evidence was found at the home, but they did say that he lived there. Now, just to recap, we've been covering this story for a few days. The search for 7-year-old Athena started on Wednesday. Authorities say she got into an argument with her stepmother Wednesday afternoon, sometime after getting off of the school bus at 4:15. When the stepmom went to check on Athena around 5:15, she says the child was gone, and after searching for more than an hour, she called 911. The sheriff says Athena's father was driving to a hunting trip out of town. Her biological mother lives in Oklahoma and drove down later on when she found out what had happened. Authorities say Athena's family is understandably devastated after learning what happened to the girl a little over 48 hours ago. Again, that suspect name is Tanner Lynn Horner. He's a 31-year-old from Lake Worth, a FedEx driver. He is charged with capital murder and aggravated kidnapping. He is now behind bars in the Wise County Jail, and his bond has been set at $1.5 million. Heather, a very sad end to 2 days of searching for 7-year-old Athena Strand and a devastated family. But this is wrapped up here. I will send it back to you in the studio.
All right, just an awful, awful ending. Macy, thank you.